unless you're from here, you can't say what I'm about to say, and it means something to you. But we're leaving last year, and I'm saying, I just watched Paul McCartney off of Bushy Branch Road. Growing up, that was Bushy Branch Road. So there's still that shell shock.
I guess it did kind of, in a way, it kind of put Manchester on the map in a sense, Like if you go somewhere, you tell people, well, I'm from Manchester, Tennessee, they're like, wow. But that's the way I guess. But now if you tell them, tell people we're from Manchester, they're like, oh, Bonnaroo. Like, yeah, I guess so.
We're a town of about 10,000. The first year Bonnaroo came, we were a town of about 6,800. So we've had some significant growth in the 13 years that they've been here. We sit just on the outside of a very large Air Force base. We've always been a very agricultural county. That mindset doesn't go away. And then you have this industrial impact too that's driven a lot by Nissan and Volkswagen, with parts manufacturers, and that's growing into even some food processing with cheese factory. We got a massive cheese factory coming. It's 8-acre cheese factory coming into town.
I told somebody that we, as Manchester and Coffee County, could not afford to done the advertisement to have the name recognition we do now. So that relationship has been growing for 13 years, and the older our relationship gets, the better it is. And I don't really see, tell you the honest God truth, how it could get any better than what they do for us. I'm just proud that they're here.
It has been a blessing. It's been very good for our town. So they found us, and it's been a great asset for our business. A lot of the people that go to Bonnaroo, they're on the inside, and some of them stay in there to eat. When all of our motels, hotels, and Murfreesboro, Chattanooga, McMinnville, all around, they're on the outside. So they like to come here.
But, growing up here, and it's still kind of this way, you hear people talk about, well, there's nothing to do in this town. And we don't have, like, movie theaters or bowling alleys or anything like that. So we always had to go out of town to do that. When to go to the movies, you drove to the next town over or whatever.
It's pretty different, It's only happens once a year, and it kind of overwhelms Manchester, I guess. And it's a lot of, I'd say 99% of them are nice people, and they just come in here and just have a good time, and they don't start no trouble, and just
we enjoy it.
Yeah.
There have been some growing pains, I guess. They've got it so organized that people are just in and out, and that's fine. Just that from what I see, and I live a little farther outside of the town now, but from what I see, everybody expects it. They know what to expect. They know it's coming. Those who just can't stand it, sometimes will plan a vacation, get out of here. They'll leave the week before and come back the week after and miss all of it, whether it's the traffic or whatever. So just knowing it's coming, I think has helped the town accept it for the most part.
The year before Bonnaroo, there was a small festival called Ichiku, and I think it was about 30,000 people came to that. And when I say small festival, 30,000 people, still that quadruple our population total. And but the impact was very minimum. It was you could tell it was here. A couple of years that Bonnaroo comes, and the guys come down and tell their city council, hey, we're going to sell 70, 80,000 tickets, and you're going to really need some stronger enforcements. And the city council at the time was like, yeah, Ichiku, that was what they were saying. And I think we were blown away. I mean, we had police officers on regular shift, and so it was kind of, it was never going to happen again. You knew at that point, you're like, oh my gosh, this is something bigger than what we anticipated.
We thought that it would just blow out in a couple of years.
Yeah.
We were so excited about it. We just knew we were going to make all this money and everything is going to be just wonderful and great. Well, it was a mess. It was really, it wasn't organized. All of our side streets, it was a standstill. All the county roads and the city, every little street was stopped.
That was whenever you could really get the bad impression of it, because you think, oh, this is crazy. Because at the time, There was nothing to protect the church for us around it. Traffic was a nightmare. You know, you'd had that go by your house for hours and hours and hours on end. Um, Kids used your yard if they needed to for the bathrooms.
In town, what seemed like mass confusion, but it was awesome. Being 13 years younger than I am today, it was something to see. It was really an experience the first few years.
I never ever would have thought that we'd have had something like Bonnaroo located in this community. But when I noticed that Ichiku, the promoter of Ichiku, which was what he was really promoting was the older bands, you know, and when I seen the activity, I thought, you know what, and that was in 1999. You know what, we might end up, that might be something that we could grow on, and it really has turned out to be something we can grow on.
From the first year, we had no idea what to expect, no basis to judge of what we needed, but we handled it. This year, it's gotten smoother. We've had some problems, but we've handled them as well.
Let's see, got about 110 to 115 troops all over the state. Hard working, they're dedicated, and they know their job.
In Tennessee, this is probably as far as annually, the only large-scale event of this type.
Bristol race, they moved over 100,000 people in up there with a lot less people, but they've got a lot different and a lot better road system. The infrastructure, they've got to look at some point. This is the only event in the state of Tennessee that has its own exit cut in from the interstate. Well, we're getting good at this.
It sounds like.
Once those things were streamlined and once their impact on the community become less and less and less in a negative way, then we had to understand that, well, it's our turn to define our role and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. You know, we have this calling card. It's one of the largest music festivals in North America, one of the largest in the world. As a city, we come to this crossroads of deciding, you know, what Bonnaroo does for us and what we can do with the opportunity that Bonnaroo presents us. You're starting to see a lot more live music. You're starting to see people wanting to play in Manchester, which is odd for me. I mean, for me, saying it's kind of cool to hear. But and I've also created Music Tree with a few buddies, little pre-festival that we consider the tailgate to Bonnaroo, if you will.
Our way of getting the Bonnaroo crowd and everybody that's in town already hopped up about Bonnaroo out and into the venues, into our local businesses. Our goal partly is to see those bands go from being on our stages to eventually maybe one day the bigger stages.
You look at towns right here, Nashville or Chattanooga, these cities have invested not just in the music itself, but the infrastructure to have performances and to be consistent about it and create a music scene. That's what I think this starts.
Things coming out. Sound all right out there? Okay.
If you ask somebody where the church is, they go, well, I'm not sure where that little church is. I go, out there where Bonnaroo takes place? Oh yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, for the most part, it is family, an extended family, and we have, I guess, non-relatives as well, but mostly just close friends and family church, I guess, at the moment.
Bushy Branch Road, it's a church I call a house of prayer. Have been here all my life. Get together, worship the Lord together. The day's our homecoming day. Now, when we were younger, when we had homecoming, people from all the surrounding churches that we attended, visited with, they would come bring food and literally have the homecoming on the ground, spread out the blankets, that type of thing. We've been fortunate enough now that we have this shelter, and over the years we have increased a little bit and don't have to sit on the ground unless we choose to, hopefully. We try to always have it the second Sunday in June. That was the original date. We have to kind of be flexible, with the Bonnaroo activities that are going on. At first, it was, it been a church. And that is kind of a little bit off from what we don't support as far as, some of the things that happen in there. But over the years, we've met a lot of really nice people, and from teenagers to older people that have been only but helpful and helping to take care of the church. just about if we asked. They help to keep the grounds clean by putting us up a fence. And I think if anything were to happen, they would notify us. We were just a little uncomfortable, didn't know how to start out with it all being here. You know how it's going to be. This is a place of God. And when you think about all of a sudden this little church out in the country was surrounded, literally surrounded, with the events. At first it was a little hard to take. Not that anything was bad, it was just so different. This little quiet community, all of a sudden this came boom and all. But we work with it.
They do a good job of helping us protect the property by putting a big chain link fence around it, just because we can't get in and out, so we can't have church, might as well close it up.
They've actually offered to help us to get people in if we needed to have our services then, but we don't during that time because of the safety of the children that are on the road. We just feel like it would not be practical to have the services and take the chance of someone getting hit. I told somebody one time, and I said, if we don't have enough God in us that we can't discontinue a few services for the safety of the children, then we need to pray a little bit more. My dad, his actual name was Rufus Lee Cornelison. We always called him Pete for some reason. And he was the pastor of this church for over 50 years, established the old church that was here, took part in that. It was a 2-room schoolhouse. He one time, behind the pulpit, talked about how he had a dream, vision, whatever. I was looking out across this field in front of the church, and he said, all the way across that field, I saw all of these little rooftops. They were multicolored. There was red ones, there was brown ones, there was green, blue, like there were houses all through there. Of course, in our minds, it was like, oh, somebody's going to build a subdivision probably over there, and we're going to see all these houses and stuff. After this came, we're like, well, maybe this is what he was referring to, because he said, I saw in those fields all of this.
No bother to us. I guess different people's got different opinions. And some say, that they wish that it wasn't there. And but I mean, in the long-term effects, I guess, for what they put back into the community, as long as they keep doing it, it'll be worth it. A lot of the money they put back into the community, and
the schools.
Yeah, they put roofs on the schools, and I reckon they had part in building the new middle school out here, and they'll redo the roads, and just a lot of different things. Like a lot of you churches, they probably don't really agree with it, but our uncle over here at his church right here on the hill, he said, he don't see nothing wrong with it, because people's going to party somewhere or another anyway, so it's done better, I think, than what they thought.
Sales tax is divided up in this county. We have 2 large cities and the county. So, of course, the rural Coffee County is always a small sales tax revenue. Well, that 1 month, the sales tax revenue for Coffee County is a whole lot more than Manchester or Tullahoma, that 1 month, which is a huge piece of our direct impact to the community. Altogether, they save us, they contribute to us over $1 million. And over $1 million to us is between 10 and 12 cents to the landowners here in Coffee County. If Bonnaroo moved tomorrow, we'd have to replace that revenue source by doing property taxes. So that's how much they've saved the property owners here in Coffee County. They buy material locally. They hire locally. They have 10,000 employees out there. Just the material side that it takes to set that festival up. I mean, I know that every building company here, carpet companies, like our restaurant, while they're setting it up, they order sandwiches and stuff. They spend a lot of money in fuel.
We live in a great world, amen? We live in a great county, amen? And we're going to have a great Bonnaroo, amen? Okay, there we go.
Is this your first chamber lunch? It's big. It's not as big as Bonnaroo, but it's a big deal. Without further ado, Jeff Cuellar.
Such a distinguished audience, such a wonderful community. We are so thankful to have Coffee County, Manchester as the host of Bonnaroo. I think I say it every time. You truly embody the spirit that we have as the fabric of Bonnaroo. Without the Southern hospitality, without the smiles and everything that we have here, Bonnaroo would not be a success. You guys were the inspiration, I'll be honest, behind one of our Bonnaroovian codes called Radiate Positivity. So what we see and what our fans actually come back to say is everybody in town is so accommodating. They are so wonderful. They are so nice. They want to come back and visit because it's such a wonderful place. So give yourselves a round of applause because we're here because of you guys. It's a wonderful place to be.
The key word is relationship. A relationship is something that does grow together. A lot of money spent here because just on the Bonnaroo side, not counting what the people come and spend. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you the secret about that too. Those people that come to that music festival, that's not their only trip. If they're coming back through this way, they'll stop and visit.
We also know they're coming from a long ways to come to Manchester. That's cool. That's a cool thing for us.
The South has become such a melting pot of cultures and personalities, and we welcome all of those different cultures and personalities from across the country, from up north, west, even cultures from other countries. We welcome that. We love that. Tennessee's a great state. Coffee County is a great county to have this festival in. The citizens of Coffee County, they open their arms up. They're very patient, and they do tolerate a lot. And we appreciate their cooperation and their patience, and the local agencies and other state agencies that all partner together. That's what makes Bonnaroo such a success, because this is a true partnership with everybody from the local community to law enforcement.
So that's my main concern is just is my family and the properties on the road and just everybody making good decisions while they're here, I guess.
Where's Massachusetts?
Miami. Knoxville.
Maryland.
Maryland.
Binghamton.
New York.
Columbus, Ohio. New York.
New York.
Detroit City.
We're from Manchester, Tennessee, and we love Bonnaroo. Love Bonnaroo.
Are you general? Or
Oh, no. No, I live on this road.
oh, you just live here?
Yeah.
And try to go home? Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
General admissions?
Oh, no.
Oh, you guys
Is it
residents and just trying to get through?
Yeah, can I drive through?
Do you guys live like on this road?
I do live on this road.
You do live on this road?
Yeah.
Oh man, I shouldn't. The towing.
If we're not supposed to be on here, that's fine. We can come back.
Would you mind? That's like.
No, that's fine. So you're not supposed to let me go past this point? Is that?
Just a second. Yeah, no, we have the road blocked off. There's
Okay.
vendors and people.
That's fine.
and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's fine.
So if you mind routing back around.
Yeah, no
Thanks for being
problem.
a good sport, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
What's up, boss man? Thank you for your support.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Are they
looks
real
like-
courteous?
What, the people that work?
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah. I think so. You know. Yeah, I think all in all, especially considering as big of an event it is, many people as you run into, it works out pretty good. We can maybe able to get a pass and go back through or something. I don't know. Let me see. Hey, are we going to be able to get the passes to put on the trucks and that? Oh, do you? Okay. Can I get one so that I can just drive down the road without having any questions and stuff? Yeah, they are. I think they just recently shut the road down, so. Okay. All right, so it's starting to line up. All right. Well, yeah, when you pull in the shed road, you'll see my truck. I'm about like, 100 100 yards down the road here, but all right, we'll just wait on you. Okay. Bye. As soon as they get the sticker, I thought about it, but I didn't know that we'd need it today.
Yeah.
You know. So. It started out as residents that are affected, by it. I think it's narrowed a little bit to just who it's directly impacting, that kind of thing. So people on that road, maybe some of the adjoining roads, will get a wristband to get
Immediate neighbors.
Right. It is different though. It's different than when the first couple of years. It's a lot different than it was. Yeah. Wasn't as strict, They weren't necessarily like checking ID, It wasn't as well organized.
Yeah.
So.
She is. So it's under the. There we go. Awesome.
What a picture. Right hand, please.
I'll put it. Try that one more time. There you go.
Does it have to be on the right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. I think it's okay to just clamp them down.
you prefer on the right, believe me.
All right. Okay.
Right. We've had a few people say that today.
Chamber
volunteer.
All right,
Thanks
cool.
so much. You guys
Yeah.
have a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Does it feel good or is it totally routine?
Yeah, it's pretty much it's been the same last few years. Yeah, so it's pretty routine.
Have you ever seen an ATM in a cow pasture?
Never seen an ATM in a cow pasture. So they pretty much try to contain this in-house.
Right. They've got their own power grid here, own utility system here that they've installed over the years. It's pretty self-sufficient. We've got enough food on site here to probably last weeks or more.
Okay.
They have trauma areas and paramedics and a lot of stuff on site.
Okay.
Bonnaroo's got pretty much every contingency inside them fences planned for. Now, if it came down to an evacuation, we would have control over the outside. We would control the roadways leaving. But as far as anything inside there, we don't deal with anything in there. We're not here to write tickets and put people in jail unless we have to. I mean, if they violate the law, we do what we have to do.
The focus then was enforcement. Well, and that changed to traffic management and safety, getting motors off the highway, off the interstate, to get them into the festival safe.
A lot of times, a lot of troopers trying to make traffic stops on the interstate while traffic is going on can cause more of a hazard.
None of it is overtime.
None of it. Oh, wow.
This is all the time that troopers have to take off within their work cycle. There's no overtime paid by Bonnaroo or by the state for it, but we do have to take it off at some point. So where it does affect you down the road would be on road coverage at different times before and after the event within that work cycle.
We're happy that they have the opportunity to come here. I know that everybody looks forward to come here, just like I would look forward to going on vacation somewhere. We're glad they have the opportunity to come here, but we want them to be here to get here safe and leave safe and have a good experience. And we just have to ask people to use some common sense about the things that they do. We're doing our best, and a lot of times putting our lives in jeopardy, to try to get them in there so they can have fun. So come, have fun. We're glad you're here, but just try to be patient with us and understand what we're trying to do so we can allow you to get back home safely.
Listen, it's the best deal that Coffee County and Manchester's ever had. For the $50 million economic impact, and we didn't have to invest a quarter. They're investing all the money. Wouldn't you love to have deals like that every day? And I travel as the mayor, and there's been lots of times, Washington, D.C., Texas, California. If they ask you where you're from, if you say Manchester, Tennessee, first thing they say out of their mouth is Bonnaroo. So
How does that feel? That's something to be proud of?
I think it's really, Bonnaroo to me is like a little crown jewel that we've got that we can bring out and show everybody, and everybody knows we got it, and then we just say, look here, look how here's Bonnaroo right here in little old Manchester, Tennessee, Coffee County. It is. I mean, that is a heck of a bragging right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have a lot of industry, and I'm proud that we have. I mean, we've done. We're big promoters on industry. In the last year, we have recruited 3 industries, which equals to $140 million investment to our community. And doggone it, I'm going to tell you that a lot of those industries, their employees and the upper management, they love Bonnaroo too.
Because those grounds are they're there year round. I fully expect to see more festivals and events out there soon to go along with what the local people are doing as well. The economy here is pretty diverse, and it needs to be.
Well, the agricultural economy around here is still really good, and I'm sure where you live it is also. But, for the last 3 or 4 years, they've had bumper crops and high prices. So it's been good for the farmers. And even the cattle growing, here's the thing, it's pretty simple. Industry is the lifeblood of any community. If you see a thriving community, you can bet money they got good industry there. Industry is what brings you your retail. You got to invest $600,000 or $1 million to get a $100 million company. There's no matter what anybody tells you nowadays, there's always communities that are willing to deal to get those jobs. When I was growing up, you didn't have to worry about it. They came because they wanted to. And if you're a growing community, trust me, those companies know it. They know you're growing. And that's why they're willing to invest in your community. They're not going to invest in a community that's dead. They know the difference between growing and dead.
Well, there's been a lot more businesses come to Manchester, little strip malls and stuff like that. We got a super Walmart, and then a lot of independent businesses. They Hibbett Sports and stuff, places that you seen, nowhere around here. It feels good because you got all these other businesses, and I'd say that that's probably part of the reason why, like they're building a new big cheese factory over here, and then that brings more jobs. Like work out here at the industrial park. We're here. They build a big new jail, so. Maybe they won't have to fill it up once they get it built, But I thank them for coming, because like I say, that helps the community and helps everybody around here, and it benefits. What it benefits most is all the young generation of the kids, that's going to school and everything. It helps give them. A lot of people don't realize it, but it's helping them get a better education and be better taught. And now they're starting to come. I guess it pretty much put Manchester on the map, as far as a lot of people never even know that it existed, probably didn't even know where they was driving through if they come down the interstate, but now I reckon it's well known all over the world now because of it. So.
No, we're still the same. We're all still the same. I think that's the reason the Bonnaroo people really like it here, because what they see is what they get. We don't try to put on to be somebody else. We're just us. It's been really great for us.
We're all just the same people we were, 13, however many years it's been before they came. And one of these days we may say, let's open it up and have a Sunday service. Everybody come, let's sit on the blacktop, have church, and then leave. And that may happen someday. You never know. Because somebody say, well, you never know who you might get saved by opening the doors. It may get that way some days where we could do that. We kind of think about that right now. But yeah, that would be good.
And just remember that this is somebody's home. The other 51 weeks out of the year or so that people call this home. They live here, they work here, and just be respectful of that and do your best to leave it even better than when you came.
You just remember, this is 2014 in June. You just remember I told you. You look back here 4 years from now and see what is in this community as far as industry. It's going to be huge because we've been working hard to lay the groundwork and have the infrastructure. We got it, and it's starting to pay off.
If the mindset's not there, you're never going to take the required steps that it's going to take to grow from it. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean grow in population? Does it mean grow in what we offer? Or does it change the vibe of our community or the atmosphere in general? Is it going to are we going to be different? And that's the part we're deciding now. 13 years sounds like a lot, and it is a lot for a festival, but the impact is just now being realized.
In my experience, teaching where I do now, I hear that from people at those surrounding small towns. They just want to get out, and I think that at the time I was like, get out. I wasn't really. I liked the area I grew up in, and so I didn't really want to get out, so to speak. But so I really liked it. But as far as like if somebody was making a movie about this town or here, I don't know, what I would tell them for sure, So other than come out there and see what's out there, because to me, I don't know what you think, but I think it's. You go to other places, travel to other places in the country. Tennessee, is one of the more beautiful places, and then getting to live there, I feel like really blessed that I got to grow up there. And now I see where a lot of other people grew up. Whether it's packed into a sardine situation with a subdivision or whatever, or an apartment growing up your whole life. Not that any of that's bad. It just makes me feel better about where I was at, I guess.
Exactly.
So